perspective on things. It's what I do. But I did make a strong effort to try to give you a little bit of the sales side of this as well. So at the end of my presentation, you'll see I instituted a little bit of help from the sales perspective, because I'm sure these are the things that you're all very interested in. Now, our claims. I recently presented ICON to a group of key opinion leaders in the United States, as recent as last week. So this was something that I had talked about. Now, the reason why is because we've all heard the claims before. But 2 years later, a lot of things have come to our minds. And we're very familiar with what we say we can do. And I want to remind you of a couple of things. And I plan to remind you a number of things throughout my presentation, not just for the sake of reinforcing certain things, but I want you to also consider the significance. Also within my presentation, I'm going to show you a little bit of a history. Andre was speaking to the launch. I'll show you what that was like. I'll quickly fly through the activities that we've seen in the US. I'll show you some things that we did with our dealer partners that may inspire you to do similar things. Maybe you've done them. Maybe you can share things with me that we should consider in the US. And again, it's a great reason to be here, that we can exchange those ideas and the information. And then eventually, as I said, I'll end up where we are. But first, I'd like to talk about the claims. Arrest early carries. Remove white spots. Without drilling in one visit. These are bold claims. Think about the doctors that you've mentioned this to. We can arrest early carries. That's huge. And I don't think doctors realize it when we say that to make claims like that, you've got to have something behind it. And I remind doctors of that when we launched ICON, and we went into the JADA, which I don't know who's familiar with JADA, it's a Journal of the American Dental Association, and it's regarded as the #1 publication and most science-oriented journal in the country. We put that ad in, and they said, arrest early carries, huh? Prove it. We're not letting you run that ad. How are you going to back this? And we did. That's important to know. Most dentists don't know about that ad review, but I'm going to tell you about the ad review because that's what I had to deal with when we launched ICON. So, when I say these are bold claims, well, they are. ICON is not a product, it is a technology. That is also something I've come to realize lately. Because when I talk to dentists and I talk to our partners, I feel like when I say product, I'm just putting it in the catalog with the 40,000 other products I was speaking to. It's not just a product. And we need to think that way. The same way we think of 3D, CAT scan. The same way we think of lasers. The same way we think of CEREC. We need to start thinking of ICON as a technology. Because that's what it is. It's not just another product. We cannot think that way. Because then the dentist will think that way. So, the paradigm shift. We've heard this term used. And this is another point that was brought up last week. So, I'll give you a little bit of background. By the way, if I do go over, please throw something at me. No problem. This was something we were talking about with these key opinion leaders. We said, okay, yes, you can infiltrate caries up to D1. That is where it's been tested to. The science has proven that. You can be very comfortable with that. And then we saw an email thread between the key opinion leaders. And eventually it got to a point where they would say, well, if it's to the dental junction, I'd feel more comfortable drilling. Oh, x-rays, you can't depend on them. It's going to be bigger. If it's bigger, I don't want this thing blowing up and having a patient come back. We've heard all of this. We know that, right? So, this is something that I had to remind these folks. And again, I'm bringing these things up, which you may consider obvious, but these are things that are top of my mind over 2 years after launching. Icon is not an alternate. It's not an alternative to traditional restorations. It is not. We never said it was. What Icon is a new tool to effectively change when restoration can begin. That's the difference. And that right there shuts down that conversation. You don't have to have the conversation of use Icon instead of drilling. You don't. You can say, go to your comfort level, doctor. The point is that Icon changes when you can begin. Ah, okay, now I see. This is important. So, does anyone know what this is or where this is? Anyone? We know it's a dam. We know which one? David?
Nearby beach. I've been there, but I didn't.
Yeah? Southwestern United States. That's your hint. Right. It's the Hoover Dam. It's one of the largest dams in the United States. And we had our sales meeting there last year, and this dam wasn't very far from our meeting. And it inspired me, because when I think about Icon, this is kind of what I think about. I think about the market for Icon. And all the efforts and all the resources, the time, our sales reps' time, our marketing dollars, the programs, the education. We've been doing this some time. And I think of this, bless you, that all of our efforts and all the support, all that water right back there. Every time we do something new, it's like putting more water behind the dam. Because we know one day when that gets high enough, it's going to break. And it's going to flood the market. We know that. And that's why we are so, well, a New York term we use is we're bullish. Bullish refers to the stock market, then when it runs, it's a bull market. I can say that we are absolutely still very bullish on Icon. Now, this is something I want to share with you.
Hi, I just wanted to take a second.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Yep, I pushed the button. It looks like I wasn't supposed to. This next little video is something that came from a smooth surface patient last, I think, Tuesday? Because Monday I was in the office. Okay, true story. Monday I was in the office, it was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and Wayne, my colleague, gets a call. He's on the phone for about 20 minutes with someone. He comes into my office and he says, Tim, you would not believe the call I just had. It made my day. I had a call from a patient who was practically crying on the phone with me. Not because she was upset, because we get those calls when, oh, you know, it didn't work, it didn't set. Not often, by the way. Not often at all. But it's usually the doctor who wants to, you know, whatever. He'll finish the cartridge and then he'll send it back and say it didn't work. So, this was someone calling to say they had one of the 10 best days of their life because of Icon. And I couldn't, and we've heard stories about this. We've heard of people crying and all that. But when we got to listen to it, and I said, all right, I got to call this woman. So we were on the phone for almost an hour. And I said, her name is Sarah. Great. I said, Sarah, please, I'm going to a meeting in Dubai, and I'm going to be speaking to a lot of folks who have Icon. And would you please just provide me with a short video? And you could tell it's totally in her home because there's a dog in the background. And so you can tell these folks what Icon means to you. So, welcome, Sarah.
Hi, I just wanted to take a second to share my experience with the Icon product. I just wanted to say that this product is amazing. It completely has changed my perspective of myself. I used to have these chalky white marks all over my front teeth, and it was just something that I thought about all the time. I probably didn't tell a lot of people that I was thinking about it, but I was thinking about it all the time. Like, oh, can people notice these? So sometimes I would avoid smiling, or I didn't like taking pictures. But it was just one of those things where somebody asked you, what is one thing you could change about yourself? That would have been it. I wish I could get rid of these marks on my teeth. So anyway, I called my dentist last week and scheduled regular cleaning. And I asked him if there was any product. I had heard something, and I asked him if they knew about it, but something that could remove these. And they said that they did have something that they were going to try. I didn't know exactly what it was. So I showed up on Monday, and they performed this amazing procedure on my teeth. And all I can say is it made one of the top 10 days of my life. I know that may sound really crazy to some people, but this was something I thought about all the time, and it was something I wanted to get rid of all the time. I would try whitening, different types of toothpaste. Nothing ever seemed to really make enough of a difference for the marks to just, to go away. Sometimes they would get better, they would get worse. But after this procedure, I have new teeth. Basically, my teeth are new. They don't even look the same. That day when I got home, I couldn't wait for my husband to get home from work that night. I kind of got all the kids ready and kind of standing there by the door when he walked in, and I said, "Look at my teeth," and he said, "Oh, they look beautiful. You've always looked beautiful. It's not something I think about." But to me, it was huge. So I just wanted to thank Icon, and most importantly my dentist, Dr. Irwin, because he is the one who got the product, did it on my teeth basically at cost. He was so generous and gave me the opportunity to stop feeling so self-conscious about this, and it's something that is, to my knowledge, permanent. So it's too good to be true. I keep thinking it's going to go away and the marks are going to come back, but the teeth, they're like new teeth, and I'm so thankful. So thank you.
Amazing. Unbelievable. We're all in the industry, and all too often, we don't get to hear that. We don't get to see and hear a patient tell you that you've changed their lives. That's incredible to me, and I can't tell you how happy this made me feel. And those testimonials and hearing that is what charges me up, because I know this product, it's going to make a difference in a lot of people's lives. We just have to get the word out. So, now I'm going to quickly walk you through the launch of an icon and what that meant in the United States. And yes, Andre. Oh, well, that's not yet when we launched it. I'll start with the ad, as I spoke to, the launch campaign that we premiered in Jada, and the launch of the ADA. Now this was fun. We're all in the sales side of things. Now can you imagine having a small booth? Well, it wasn't even that small. It was 10 by 20 feet. And we had rows and rows of people coming up.